Elementary students are gradually returning to in-person learning. The youngest learners in the Northwest suburban districts are back already, with grades 3 through 5 expected to be back on Monday. But what about the older students? The Osseo School Board voted on Friday to move students in grades 6 through 12 to a hybrid model. The superintendent made the recommendation after COVID-19 case rates in local cities decreased to levels where it's considered safe to move students to a hybrid learning model.
We continue to see the impact of the pandemic on academic, social, and nutritional well-being of our students, and we see the need to prioritize in-person learning while doing it safely. We're at a point in time of being able to take another step towards meeting that need.
On February 17th, students in grades 6 through 8 plus 9th grade and 12th grade students will return to school in their previously assigned groups. Then, starting March 1st, grades 10th and 11th grade will return in their groups. This allows schools to operate at 50% capacity. Buses will also be operating at 50% capacity. There will not be school on February 12th and 16th for all students except the ones enrolled in the Distance Learning Academy. That's so teachers can prepare for the switch. Before the school board approved this change, they remarked on what a tough decision this has been.
I have heard from, parents that are tired of having their kids at home, to parents that are tired of teaching, parents who need to work, our teachers that have worked so hard to forge a new educational environment in the middle of a global pandemic. I want to let you know that we hear you.
Frankly, not happy with this model. We've received a lot of emails and messages about this hybrid model, and very few of them, if any, have been positive on either side of the argument. So I don't feel confident that we're setting our kids up for success in this model.
Meanwhile, child care workers are slowly but surely starting to get their COVID-19 vaccinations.
I think that we've done so much since the pandemic started to keep the staff safe, to keep the families safe, and now this is an additional step, and I think there's a big sense of relief with that.
Teachers from Little Newton's Early Education Center in Plymouth were part of the state's initial pilot program to vaccinate educators last week. So far, half of Little Newton's staff members have received the first dose of the vaccine, with the second dose scheduled for mid-February. But getting additional staff members vaccinated has been challenging. There's been a mad scramble for appointment slots this week, caused in part by other educators in the state forwarding registration emails to their colleagues that were meant for specific teachers.
When we received the email, it didn't say anything about not forwarding, but we just kind of knew that this was under our license and this should only be for our staff. And so I read that and I was quite shocked, and it makes sense why there's not as much available.
About 15,000 doses were made available to teachers this week. A Brooklyn Center woman is accused of being the ringleader of a Medicaid fraud scheme that involved 8 people, many of whom live right here in the northwest suburbs. The Minnesota Attorney General charged 46-year-old Trinia Davis of Brooklyn Center with 11 felony counts. According to the charges, Davis recruited friends and relatives to fake or exaggerate medical conditions to qualify them for personal care assistant services they never received. The alleged fraud spanned 5 years, costing the state's Medicaid program more than $860,000. In Plymouth, firefighters responded to a fire at a townhome complex in the northeast part of the city. They were called Thursday evening to the Bass Lake Hills townhomes. Family members impacted tell CCX News that the fire started in a garage and was contained to one middle unit. Everyone inside made it out safely. Plymouth Fire Chief Roger Coppa says one firefighter was taken to the hospital to be treated for injuries after a fall on the ice. The cause of the fire is under investigation. As longtime Plymouth Police Chief Mike Goldstein wraps up his time on the job this week, he's had some notable recognition. Plymouth's Mayor, Governor Tim Walz, and the Minnesota Department of Public Safety Commissioner declared Thursday as Mike Goldstein Day.
Thank you, Jack.
This is video captured of Chief Goldstein's final sign-off on Thursday. This is a tradition in law enforcement when an officer retires. Eric Fadden will take over as Police Chief and Public Safety Director on Monday. Many art shows right now are virtual shows, and there's one that's brand new hosted by the Robbin Gallery in Robbinsdale. As Neil Persley shows us in Weekend Showcase, it's an exhibit put together by the Golden Valley and St. Louis Park arts communities.
So both Golden Valley Arts and St. Louis Park Friends of the Arts, who are hosting this third annual artist showcase, partnered with the Robbin Gallery as an opportunity to bring our showcase to a brand new space.
And this particular show is quite exclusive in that it is only available to view online.
What we will do instead is offer 3 brand new ways of viewing and experiencing Artist Showcase.
John secured the use of a special digital 360-degree camera. With it, they created a virtual experience that is quite compelling.
The first is going to be a first ever 360 virtual gallery where you'll be able to walk through in virtual space all of the artwork, both on a desktop computer, on your phone, or even in a VR headset.
The virtual tour is engaging and kind of addictive, but if you're a little more traditional and just want the good images of the works that you can study.
The second is going to be a web gallery that you can find on our websites, and a third will be an exclusive Instagram gallery.
Through a lot of photography and image work done by John and other volunteers, they've created a show that has an unlimited lifespan, available anywhere, and shows off the warm and welcoming atmosphere of the Robbin Gallery.
We have an entire media wall that is dedicated to film that you can watch right online or right in the 3D virtual showcase, as well as music performances from local artists.
So there's lots of different ways to view a lot of different local art. From inside the virtual matrix of the Robbin Gallery, Neil Persley, CCX News.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. For the second time in less than a week, Park Center and Osseo went head-to-head in boys basketball. Jay Wilcox has the highlights.
Park Center looking for a little revenge after taking their first loss of the season to Osseo last Friday. It's Osseo starting strong. Tyrese Waits throws it ahead to Owen Dukowitz for the layup and an early 7-0 Orioles lead. Josh Ola-Joseph had 30 points last time. He dunks on the feed from Donald Ferguson, but the Pirates do a much better job defensively as Ola-Joseph scores 17 in this one. Braden Carrington drives and kicks to Dawson Rudolph for the 3 as Park Center storms back with a good run. Defense leads to points here. James Parker with a great pass ahead to Jalen Cook for the layup. The Pirates take a 2-point lead into the halftime break. The second half is all Park Center. Carrington sets up Rudolph for one of his 3 second-half threes, and the Pirates lead by 7, 18 for Rudolph total. Rudolph gets it to Carrington, and he dunks on the fast break as everything is rolling the Pirates' way. Park Center avenges the loss to Osseo with a 70-48 win to improve to 4-1. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The top-ranked Champlin Park boys basketball team hosted Anoka in Northwest Suburban Conference play. The Rebels get running early. Josh Strong passes to Francis Wakoria for the dunk. The Rebels score the game's first 11 points. Wakoria finishes the night with 22. Strong uses a screen and then drives hard down the lane to score. He nets 20 points in the game as Champlin Park never allows Anoka back in it. More good transition basketball here for the Rebels and another 2 for Strong. Champlin Park takes a 48-18 lead into halftime. Dylan Kachaba adds 11 points in the game for the Rebels. They rout the Tornadoes 73-37. A local boxer steps into the squared circle Saturday night for a title shot. Here's Jason Malillo with more.
Caleb Truax will fight for the IBF super middleweight title on Saturday night in Los Angeles.
I'm grateful that I'm given this opportunity because I thought after the last fight where I had to withdraw, I thought I was going to have to go take a step back.
Truax withdrew from his last fight after suffering what he believes was heat exhaustion prior to the bout, the latest in a string of setbacks for the Osseo native. In fact, he's completed just 1 fight since 2018.
It's been a long 2 years. I've had the cuts, the Achilles injury, the withdrawal. And it's been a long 2 years, and I'm finally back healthy now and feeling good and just hungry to go out there and show everybody what I can still do.
Truax will face Caleb Plant for the IBF title. It's the belt Truax won in 2017, and he's eager to get it back. Plant is a good fighter. He's fast, slick, and has pretty good power. The Nashville native won the IBF title 2 years ago and has defended it twice. Plant is undefeated in 20 pro fights.
He's got good ring IQ, he's got good foot speed, good hand speed, he throws good combinations. He's also never really fought anybody that's as good as me. His opposition, level of opposition hasn't been very good at all, especially his first two title defenses. So I think I'm the best fighter he's ever faced, and will provide a different challenge than he's used to. So I'm banking on my experience and my conditioning and my power just to go out there and do my thing.
Plant is also a guy who will talk trash and showboat in the ring. That's not Truax's game, but it doesn't really bother him either.
We've had some words in the past via social media, and he's a showy guy and the opposite of me. You know, I'm kind of like the workman style, just go out there and do my job. But it is what it is, man. That's what sells tickets sometimes in boxing, and more power to him if it works for him.
With the injuries and illnesses hopefully behind him, Truax is feeling rested and ready to become a two-time champion. Good luck, Caleb. Truax, that is. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Thanks, Jason. We'll have a recap of the fight Monday here on CCX News.